I'm Mark Seifter.
And I'm Linda Zeiss Palmer.
And this is Arcane Mark. Welcome to Workshop Arena, Battle of Build a Monster and NPC Workshops.
In which we will be pitting some of the many NPCs and monsters that we have created together with the Arcane Mark community against each other in a battle royale. I have a list right here for everybody of 7 of the 8 friends that we have created, and I will read out this list for YouTube. And the 8th one that we don't have on here was one that is substantially higher level, so it just wouldn't really be a fair shot for any of our other NPC friends. If you pick something that is, if we're picking something that's lower level, we'll probably be going into some multiple copies of it or some combinations, so want to see which of these folks are most interested in. So I'm going to quickly go down what these are in case folks aren't familiar with them. First up, number 1 is the iconic Sharkshasa. It's a shark. It's a Rakshasa. It's the thing that was secretly behind the plans all along.
Sharkshasa.
It's the Sharkshasa.
Level 8 monster.
Concepted originally from one of our episodes about what to do when the PCs just are not following your leads, and illustrated by Sheppy on an Arcane Mark shirt that is available on Roll for Combat's website. We have the Chemaghost, which is
part alchemist, part ghost.
Part alchemist, part ghost. All creepy, haunting mad scientist.
It also has a piece of Sheppy art, as well as some additional flavor text by Adam Daigle.
That's true.
Who was in the chat at the time.
We have number 3, the
that
Brachyura.
One's level 10.
Yes. The Brachyura are Vault Devil, a.k.a. the Treasure Crab. It's shiny.
It's a treasure. It's a crab.
It might sing you that song from Moana.
It may do that.
It might do that, but probably not because it's a devil. It's a devil with 6. A horrifying swarm of smaller versions of itself that it can dispatch from its back.
That's right.
That it likes to disguise as tiny little jewels, so that if anyone picks them up, they are in for a world of heart. We have number 4, Lamy Tangles of the Sea, the Leshy. The Leshy who was concepted to be a Sharkshasa hunter. And so could be, I'm seeing a lot of 1 versus 4s in the chat. People want to see that iconic battle. Lamy is level 9. We have Scaletail, concepted originally under the idea of Kitsune Warlock. The Bounty Hunter Curse Witch, the Bounty Hunter Kitsune Curse Witch with a Kobold alternate form.
Level 9.
And a family of hungry mouths to feed. Level 9. We have Bun Bun, the rabbit of unusual size. The huge, stomping, thwomping rabbit who can create earthquakes with his feet.
Level 6.
Level 6. We have Lofia, Crest of the Swords, the Steno Ruins Explorer and wielder of the 7 Cursed Swords. And typing this list, I realized we really do a lot of curses on our show.
It seems like all of the NPCs except Lamy are curse-related. Though the NPC workshop is just more like a cursed workshop.
Yeah. Lofia was our
7.
most recent one. Lofia goes into... Lofia has been gathering swords from a super accursed field in Numeria. Using those curses to dish out
10,000 times accursed.
Yes. So it looks like we're going to be doing that iconic 1 versus 4 battle here. I expected that was likely what was going to happen as I was typing them out, but you know what? Gotta leave it to the fans, right?
That's true. The real question is, should we give the Sharkshasa some support?
Yeah, because the Sharkshasa is...
The Sharkshasa is 1 level lower. So...
And where are we going to have this fight?
In theory, the Sharkshasa could wind up getting support from Scaletail or Lofia or a Mega Bunny or a Brachyura treasure crab. Although if the fight is actually underwater, then most of those possible backup will not be able to handle the environment very easily.
That is true. We could also do a slight bolster to the numbers if folks want us to do that.
That's true. Like, it could be an elite Sharkshasa, although that always overestimates the numbers while not giving as many special abilities.
What do you guys think? How should we handle this
how
fight?
Should we handle this?
Should it be on land or should it be in water?
Let's see how do we handle the backup for the Sharkshasa. The choices are no backup, just let the Leshy be a level higher. Choice 2, pick one of these other people to add, or choice 3, elite Sharkshasa.
Wither King says, we just left the arcane mark on our creations, and they are all cursed because of it. And Stunt says, next build an NPC workshop, the Curse Hunter.
Curse Hunter. Stunt Monkey says, add sharks, which is a 4th option. Well, let's see. What do we got for sharks?
There's a few shark options.
Yes, we've got the shark family includes the great white shark and the megalodon. So the megalodon is too high level, but
it's in and of itself as powerful.
We could add like a couple or 2 or 3 great white sharks to the mix on the Sharkshasa's side.
That sounds legit, and in that case, we're having a water-based battle.
Well, it seemed likely that would happen anyway,
yes.
But yes. Alright. So, I feel like Linda should play the Leshy.
Yeah. And you should be the Sharkshasa.
I could be the Sharkshasa and the sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, I think we can do that. Let me go into the...
You can grab your statistics.
Let me go in here and get the Sharkshasa. Sharkshasa.
Here we are, and I am getting some of the Lushy spells pulled up on Archives of Nethys so that I have them, so that I have their full rules.
I'm gonna grab the Sharkshasa.
Handy access.
Alright. So, we are literally facing the Sharkshasa. I got the Sharkshasa hunting Lushy, who has, like, extra abilities that are meant to make the Leshy good at hunting Sharkshasas. So let's see how that works. And to be fair, that was probably... We want to make sure it could win in a one-on-one. And Sharkshasa is getting an advantage here with those great white sharks coming in on the Sharkshasa's side. So we can add... maybe 2 great white sharks. I think that
that seems reasonable.
Is, gives the Leshy a slight edge overall, but it was also outnumbered. It does not necessarily always have ways to handle have a lot of ways to handle a ton of different targets. So let's do that. I've got my great white sharks. I've got my Sharkshasa.
And I have figured out how I think I want to go ahead and start this fight.
Okay. So, is everyone ready? Linda, are you ready? Alright, what should be our starting distance?
Alright.
To determine that, we probably want to figure out how far away they would notice each other.
That's true. So my perception on Lamy is plus 18.
Okay. My perception is plus 16. And I can smell blood in the water from up to a mile away.
I don't have traditional blood. I'm a Leshy.
Leshy. Alright.
Okay.
What is your stealth?
My stealth? Why, my friend, my stealth is not something that I have trained to do.
Okay. I have very high stealth.
Alright, so it sounds like you're gonna notice me before I notice you, because I'm just super duper obvious.
Da-na.
Da-na. Da-na, 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 da-na.
The Sharkshasa commands the sharks to be as stealthy as they can, which is, like, not super stealthy, but is at least somewhat stealthy. Let's see, what kind of abilities do I have to attack at range? Not a huge amount. So, when I notice you're obviously blatant Leshy in the distance, I, while I'm still very far away, I will put up I'll even swim farther away, put up a heroism, and come back.
Legit? That is your prerogative as the first noticer.
The person who has 10-minute
yes.
a 10-minute spell. And at that point, I kind of want to get into melee with this like little Leshy. It seems like it's out hunting for me, and I have better attacks at that range, plus my sharks. So I'd be swimming up toward you. However, once I got anywhere close and came forward towards an ambush, we'd be rolling initiative for like that first round of the fight. And also, like, the sharks only have a plus 12, which is better than you're not trained.
Yeah.
But not by enough that you're not going to notice it with plus 20.
With a plus 18 perception, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right, plus 18.
Yeah, don't apply heroism to me.
That's true. Good point. Good point. So, let's see. Why don't you roll your initiative?
Oh,
I'll roll mine.
Go. Okay, I rolled pretty well. I'm going to go at 35.
All right. So, well, one of the sharks rolled pretty well. So, here's what happens. You said your perception is plus 18?
Yes.
Okay. As they're swimming up towards you from around, I guess, some seaweed or whatever is around in this underground area, you notice a Sharkshasa and one shark trying to sneak up on you, but they don't get all the way up to you yet. They they're gonna try to define the distance of the fight, but also like they didn't all succeed at their stealth anyway.
Aha! So, it's my sworn nemesis.
So what distance do you think makes sense for this?
Well, you would probably select a distance that would allow you to close with a single move.
That's true, but my sneakers were not actually necessarily sneaky enough to make it all the way out there, but maybe they were. I mean, it's underwater.
Move, right?
There's not great visibility,
yeah.
So necessarily. So we can do 40 feet.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
All right. So you go first against this Sharkshasa and one shark.
Okay.
That you see.
So I see a Sharkshasa and one shark.
Yes.
All right. I am going to use Inspire Courage.
Okay.
And then
See, you don't need the heroism.
I don't. Well, it's important to have Inspire Courage. For this. Actually, let's see. I think I'm going to... I actually see that I'm facing against multiple enemies here.
There's one shark and one Sharkshasa. And you don't need to... Or, like... Your character is literally a Sharkshasa hunter, so... You probably... just...
I'm going
know about hunting Sharkshasas in every fiber of your being.
Well, yes, that's why I start with the Inspire Courage, because that the additional damage that she does from Inspire Courage is 1 good damage.
Uh-huh.
Which is designed to go against her weakness. I'm just gonna smack you, I think, to start with. So I'm going to cast a Shadow Blast.
Shadow Blast.
And
Alright, I get to use the better of my reflex or will, right?
Yeah, you get to use the better reflex or will. I'm going to choose, if your guys are close enough together, I'm going to choose 15-foot burst within 120 feet, so I hit both of you.
So they would probably be trying to come from somewhat separate directions to flank you.
So I was guessing you probably weren't, but...
to make it easier to flank you rather than come from, since it's in 3 dimensions.
So you don't have any weaknesses to any particular damage.
Is there a cone option in Shadow Blast?
There is, but it's a 30-foot cone, and I'm not right next to you.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So because I know all about Sharkshasas, I know about the fact that you resist physical except piercing.
That's right.
And yes, I could do a and yes, I could do something else, but I'm just gonna make it a good piercing attack.
Okay.
Just for funsies.
It's a piercing attack with 1 extra good damage.
It's a piercing attack with 1 extra good damage.
So
yes.
I'm going to use my best save, which is reflex save, to try to dodge out of the way of this.
Now you may be used to the idea that I have special anti-fiend spell penetration, which reduces the fiend's weird bonus.
By
on
how
save
much?
by 2.
By 2.
Yes.
And it's not divine, so
yes,
I actually don't get my weird bonus.
Yes.
However, I cast Heroism, which
yes.
gives me a different status bonus. Actually, what does it cancel? Does it cancel status bonuses?
It says reduce weird bonus by 2 for fiends.
Okay. Right, it cancels, but it is a special type of the original, spell penetration feat.
So it should behave like the spell penetration feat. Reduces the bonus by 1.
If it has a status bonus to saving throw against magic, it reduces it by 1. So that would not apply to heroism,
yes.
which is a status bonus to all saves.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so I have a plus 20 on my reflex save, so I have a pretty good chance of dodging this. Oh, yeah, I rolled very well.
Did you critically succeed?
I don't know what your DC is, but I got a 36. How about that?
My spell DC is 28, so you did not.
I did not critically succeed. That is a nasty spell.
You succeeded though, so
for my poor little Sharkshasa, even with my heroism, I couldn't critically succeed.
All right, so our 5d8 dice is going to be 25.
So that's 12 plus 1 good.
Yes.
So I take 23 damage in total. That's a pretty nasty hit. Alright, so my Sharkshasa has taken 23. My shark, the one that you see, is completely safe from that.
I know there's no point in using invisibility, because these sharks have scent.
Alright. So there we go. What's going to come up next is going to be a different shark that you didn't know about.
What? There was a different shark I didn't know about.
That's right. The different shark that you didn't know about is gonna swim up to you and then try to bite. It's actually hidden, so but it's not. It's actually hidden from you. Before it started the movement, which means you're gonna be flat-footed against this attack.
That is right.
All right, here we go. Okay, I'm fairly certain that an 18 abysmally fails. Even against your flat-footed.
You did not hit.
Well, I can't keep rolling as well as this shark's initiative or the Sharkshasa's saving throw. Alright, well, in that case, it's going to try again. It wants to put some blood in the water. Oh, that's a much higher roll, but it's on second attack. That is going to be a 28.
Yes, that hits.
Against your flat-footed.
That would hit my regular AC as well.
Uh-huh. Alright, so now it's going to hit for shark damage.
Oh no, shark damage. First blood against the Leshy.
First blood. Let's see. Do I have a D12 over here? Maybe not. No. Alright, I will just do it on here.
Use an online dice roller.
I will use an online dice roller. First blood. Ha! Take this! 19 damage from my mook shark.
Youch! Alright.
It was almost maximum.
The dice gods have favored the shark team
Now
today.
there's blood in the water. What does that? I mean, it's first blood, but actually no, really, because
No,
you
'cause I
didn't
hit
have any blood, and
Yeah.
you hit me for
Yeah, that's true.
for more damage than that.
That's true. That's true.
So the real blood in the water was the Sharkshasa's blood all along. In the water. My telepathy with the sharks continues to succeed. And then after that, he's going to come actually the other shark, who also beat the Sharkshasa initiative, but did not quite get high enough that you couldn't see it. So this other shark is going to come in, and it's actually going to, let's see, probably not going to flank you because the Sharkshasa wants to take the flank. So it's going to move to a spot that's not flanking you and attack. Alright, that is a 17, which obviously misses.
Yes.
An 18 miss. And then a 15.
Nope.
So the less she dodges all the other attacks, wouldn't have mattered if you were flat-footed against that. And now it's time for the Sharkshasa.
Dun dun dun.
It gives a shark-like roar of anger that you have dealt it so much damage. Turns its gaze upon the Leshy. And then it is going to... Let me make sure I remember all of its abilities here. It's got Bleeding Terror. It's got a 3rd level Fear. Alright. Yeah, that makes sense. I remember what it can do now. So, it is going to rush forward and attack the Leshy with a devastating... whatever its strike is.
People were talking about
Jaws.
the Leshy singing. One other thing that we didn't mention is the Leshy has a blowfish familiar that doubles as a set of bagpipes.
That's right.
So there is underwater bagpipe music accompanying this battle.
That's right. Jaws comes.
Boom.
Crunch.
Alright, you gonna hit me?
No. Natural 1.
Ha! See, that's what happens when you stand against the might of Lamy, the mighty huntress.
Alright. Furiously, it bites you again. Alright. Did not like being taunted, so the Sharkshasa gets a 33.
That is going to hit.
Alright, and it's against your flat-footed. I'm assuming that's not a crit.
That is not a crit.
Alright.
It does, however, hit.
Alright, so it's going to hit for... It is more powerful, indeed, than its friend, the shark. But it rolled really low, so it hits for 17. Not actually
Not as much
more
as the shark.
than the shark.
Yes.
Even though it's rolling 2d10 plus 11 rather than 1d12 plus 8.
Yep.
Yep.
Dice be like that sometimes.
Yep. Alright.
Alright.
Well, that's it for our good friends, the sharks, and the Sharkshasa. Oh yeah, also I should mention, when it casts Heroism, it probably casts See Invisibility as well, in case there were other invisible allies that you were bringing along, but you're not invisible, so it doesn't matter.
That's true, that's true.
Alright. Back to you, Linda.
Alright. So I've got a few things I can do. Being outnumbered isn't the greatest thing for my particular spell list. I've got a lot of good single target effects.
I guess at this point you could hit with the Shadow Blast, but
I can hit a lot of things with the Shadow Blast at this point, so I am gonna do that.
Okay.
Although,
but you can't.
I can't.
You can't sing "Get Out of the Range of the Shadow Blast" and do the Shadow Blast.
That's true.
I guess the cone, but
I can cone 2 of them.
Yeah, but you couldn't get all 3 and sing and do it because you're surrounded by sharks.
I'm surrounded by sharks, but I do really like that 10 bonus damage
to the main enemy. Yeah. So yeah, how are you gonna pull this one?
I I'm going to stand my ground and fight, and I'm going to inspire the courageous bagpipe song with a courageous bagpipe song, and I'm going to Shadow Blast Cone on the Shark Shasa, and whatever unfortunate shark decided that he wasn't going to take the flank so that his boss could do so.
Alright. Well, that is the second shark. So
that is a DC 28 save once again.
Alright. Let's see. So the Shark Shasa makes it. But the shark is very unlikely to make it. The shark, by the skin of its teeth, didn't critically fail with a 19.
So that is a base of 20 damage.
All right.
So that'll be 21 to your shark buddy because it adds the before you the one.
It is very lucky that it didn't critically fail. It would have been very, very low. So, all right. Actually the shark's not evil, so it's just 20. If the one damage is one good damage.
Let me see if it's specifically good damage or yes, it's good damage. So the shark doesn't take it. Yes, only the Shark Shasa.
So the shark takes 20 damage. The Shark Shasa takes also 20 damage. Because it saved, but then it takes 10 extra. So all right, the Shark Shasa is getting pretty beat up at this point, but it's still above half its hit points. The shark still above half, and the other shark is uninjured. That is the very fast and clever shark. That shark right now is going to try its continued Jaws assault.
Yes.
Someday we'll use some offensive option other than Jaws, but
today is not that day.
Might not be that day. Oh no, today is that day because I got a 32 against your flat-footed.
That will hit.
Which we know is a hit, but not a crit. So that means I'm going to do something that is not just the Jaws attack. Because I finally had actions after hitting you. Oh, it's minimum 9 damage. So you take 9 damage, and then it savages you. Which automatically deals an additional 8 damage.
Youchie.
So it gets a bite on and then deals an additional 8 damage. And then at that point, it's actually going to do a strafing chomp. Even though that only does half damage. Where it'll dart around back to the spot where it previously started its action. Attack you. It misses.
Yep.
And then dart out.
It doesn't want to be next to the Leshy, huh?
No, it's gonna stay next to you, but just not take the flanking spot.
Gotcha. So they're gonna trade places.
Now the other shark comes into the flanking spot.
Yep.
And attacks you.
I see where this is going.
That is gonna be a 23 against your flat-footed.
That will miss.
Which will miss. All right, I will try to bite you again, and it gets a 15.
That will critically miss.
Oh no! At least you're not a swashbuckler.
At least I'm not a swashbuckler.
All right, now it's the Shark Shasa's turn. The Shark Shasa feels pain from this fight, but still thinks it's winnable. The Leshy has, after all, been being bitten by both it and the shark. There's no blood to taste, but there is whatever kind of seaweed. Shark Shasa's not a vegetarian, though. Alright. So, Shark Shasa is going to make a Jaws attack. 35 against your flat-footed. Is that
That will crit.
Critical Jaws! Oh, actually 36. I forgot hero isn't. Ooh. Well, it wasn't lucky for you that I rolled high on the one that critted and not the one that didn't crit. So that is going to be 58 damage.
Oof. My Leshy's on her last legs. Her last sea legs.
And then is going to grab you in place so you can't get away. And then, let's see. Gonna thrash. Roll a fortitude save. Thrash you around.
Natural 3. That's not gonna make it, presumably.
Probably not.
Natural 3 is an 18.
That does not critically fail.
I don't critically fail. Yay! All right. How much extra damage do I take?
Well, you take 19 damage. Is that the end of our hero?
That is sadly reduces our hero to 0 hit points.
Sharkshasa wins.
Lamey the Sharkshasa hunter failed to hunt the Sharkshasa.
That's true. It was those 2 sharks.
Yes. Well, because Lamey has other stuff like slow, and even better than that, the spiritual amnesis spell. That's like a heftier version of slow against fiends. But when there's so many other targets around, it's tough.
That's true. That spiritual amnesis spell is really ridiculous against the Sharkshasa itself. But those other sharks, well, they're sharks.
This is why you should always hunt Sharkshasas, because they do devious stuff like this. When you're just innocently going for a swim, trying to hunt them down.
I mean, the Great Whites got pretty lucky, right? Like, what was your AC?
My AC was 27.
Okay, so yeah, they got a pretty good number of hits, given that your AC was 27.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what did you in. Because if it was just the Sharkshasa, I'm sure you could have defeated it.
The Sharkshasa did not need Benny and Nibbles. Says Stunt Monkey. Joe says, I expect the excess number of actions will tell the tale of this battle. It tastes like kale.
That's right. I think they did need Benny and Nibbles. That wouldn't have been a crit otherwise.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have been a crit otherwise. And yeah, I almost certainly would have stuck you with a nasty slow.
That would have been a problem for me because I need to grab you before I can
Another issue you may have had in other cases is dealing with me casting heightened soothe to cancel out your damage if you didn't have enough DPS.
That's true. My DPR was too high with bursty damage from critical hits. So the victor goes the spoils, and the spoils is vegetables.
My lost vengeance. And in the final moment of vengeance, Lamey explodes into a field of seaweed, proving once and for all why the Sharkshasa hates lushies.
But at least the Sharkshasa, the true iconic villain, is victorious. There isn't a Lamey t-shirt, there's a Sharkshasa t-shirt.
That's true.
Dun 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 dun. It also shows, yet again, why a level 4 monster can really help you, even in a fight against, what were you, like, level 8?
I was level 9.
Not level 9, right?
Yeah.
I know that there's certainly a lot of talk about the fact that summoned monsters do not contribute that much to the fight, but in practice, I've often seen monsters of those levels, like top-level summon monsters, contribute a bunch, and both of those Great Work Sharks were a big contribution.
We've got another comment here. Ultimately, the Sharkshasa had to listen to bagpipe music, so who's the real winner?
The real winner's the Sharkshasa. It just is the Sharkshasa. One of them is still alive, the other one is dead. Sharkshasa won.
Sharkshasa
did have to listen to bagpipe music.
Alright. So let's see.
Ultimately, we did say that Lamey knows the Sharkshasas come with, conspiracies and groups of minions and likes to gather allies and buff them all up.
Yes.
It's certainly true that if we did the encounter of, say, 2 Sharkshasas, or, a Sharkshasa plus an equally, that was half the fight, and then Lamey had,
a pack of allies.
Even just a couple other allies, or maybe 4 Sharkshasas against a party of Lamey and some allies, those Sharkshasas would not be in a good shape because Lamey's Inspired Courage would give everybody good damage, and that would be adding 11 damage to everything that everyone did to the Sharkshasas. It may have seemed like Lamey didn't do that much since I rolled extremely high on my saves, and I saved both times for half. But I was over a third of the way down just from getting hit twice and saving both times.
Yeah.
So, definitely, like, the Sharkshasas would have had a lot of trouble, even if there are multiple of them, avoiding, like, AoE bombardment, or things like that. Plot twist, the Sharkshasa loves bagpipes, says Alto. Maybe so.
You never know, the Sharkshasa is a real trickster.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see, we're at, do we have time for another battle? I don't think so.
That looked like that battle, deciding what the battle was and then doing the fight took about 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So,
Stump Monkey says Lammy could have won on a different day. It does show the power of action economy. It's the same reason why, when you have an extreme, even if you build an extreme encounter against the PCs, if the PCs use their action economy well, even though it is sort of like a 50-50 and they might be able to drop one PC a turn if they're lucky, the extreme encounter is still going to have an advantage.
So I'm curious, now that we've done sort of the fight that was almost certainly going to win
the PCs going to have the advantage, not the extreme encounter.
So sometimes I hear what you mean and not what you say.
Yeah.
Like just there.
Yeah.
But now that we've done sort of the fight that was pretty much definitely going to win this, because we had the Sharkshasa and the Sharkshasa Hunter, do folks want to do, not today, but do folks want to see this show back up on the poll so that some of the other build a monster and build an NPC workshop creatures can duke it out? Let us know in the comments, please.
That's right. I mean, at some point we could do one where it's like Lammy plus Lofia and who's the and Scaletel, the three NPCs in a party, because Lammy and Scaletel are actually the same level, and Lofia is a little lower. Like in a party of 3 versus some kind of monster group.
Yeah. We could have, especially like Lofia, because I do like the idea of Lofia and Scaletel being together for the whole, like, I have curses, no, I have curses.
I mean, if we wanted another, like, even match, it could be Lofia and Scaletel against the Chemighost, for example, that they encounter together in a cursed haunted area.
Looks like there's a fair amount of interest in this topic, so let's keep that in mind and put that on a future poll.
All right. We will put it on a future poll. All right, then. Let's say goodbye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube.